How's it going, guys? This is Hightower
and Poltergeist for Direwolf Airsoft.
and today we're going to go over prep for different types of airsoft games. Alright, so for this portion we're pretty much going to go over the stuff that you can use for all types of games, whether it be a Friday night fight or a 24-hour long weekend game. You've got your basic hand protection, whether it be very minimal to knuckle busters. You got your face protection, and that there's kind of three levels. Very minimal being a mouthpiece, a mouth guard, face mesh mask that everyone seems to have, a very thin balaclava, or the full face that protects everything. It's kind of a paintball-esque mask.
Another option for your neck is also a shamag. Then going into eye pro, we have the shooting glasses with your full seal insert. Standard full seal glasses. You got the whole deal here. Going up to your top of your head, you can go with a boonie hat, baseball cap, or a helmet, whatever works for you. We also have pants. You got to make sure you got decent pants on when you're playing.
And on top of that, you've got your different styles of hiking boots. You've got your high top, which will give you a little more ankle support. You can go with your low top. It's more a comfort thing for whoever's using it. I'm a fan of the lower top. Most athletic people like the lower top to keep their ankles free. But if you're gonna tougher terrain, you want to go with the high top and protect yourself. Alright, so for this portion, if you want to do your Friday night fights or your indoor walk-on games, you can go from mild to wild. Poltergeist here pretty much has your hat, your head protection, your eye pro, which has full seal backing to it, and a shamag to cover his face so his face get all pock-marked up. He also here has a just a battle belt to hold whatever he wants.
Real light. I got a couple of mags here for my primary, secondary. This particular loadout, I do got a sidearm, so I have that on here. A little utility pouch, and of course Spider-Man, because you got to have morale.
Now on the wilder side, we've got Saint, who has the protection he needs that we've talked about with Poltergeist, but a lot more. He's probably going to be playing a Friday night fight for most of the night. He's got a couple mags worth of BBs, the mesh mask for face protection. What does she have on her, Saint?
Got my helmet. Let's see, same with him, got my pistol. I have a dump pouch in the back over here. It's rolled up right now. And I would have a sling too, but it's more of a milsim style loadout versus just throwing together quickly. But you can still play however you want.
Yeah, the biggest thing about these loadouts is safety. But we showed you before, Poltergeist has the bare minimum, Saint has the other side of it. We're showing you two different sides that we can see, what do I want to look like or portray tonight.
Yep. Alright.
So in addition to the previous kit that we showed you guys, something more catered to maybe a Saturday or Sunday morning walk-on, mandatory at most fields, at least here on the East Coast that we play at, is a red rag. At least here at Direwolf Airsoft, we're all about fair play. And the only way to know if someone got shot is if they wave their dead rag and they say call their hits a couple times.
Keep them easy to grab. Make sure you have it in your dump pouch or in an easily accessible pocket. Don't have it so that you're sitting there for 5 minutes trying to get your red rag out.
Or in a cargo pocket, you pull it out, you're hit, you call it. You also want to keep a couple spare batteries on you. I've been on the field a couple times where my batteries have just died. And to look for someone else to maybe throw you a battery may not happen. So you definitely want spare batteries and always spare BBs. Find a place on your carrier to throw it so you can load mags either while you're dead or humping it back to respawn.
A lot of the outdoor games you're going to be having a full chest rig or some more substantial gear on you. BBs, batteries, all that can fit right in the back compartment here. Normally keep some food in there. Got to make sure you have snacks out there in these slightly longer games because you're going to get hungry. You need that. Also, water. Make sure you got your hydration system in here. We got a hydration bladder, but you can go with a water bottle, whatever works for you. Also with this larger back panel, you can get a high pressure air tank in here, and that and water all in the back of your rig.
The great thing too about these M4 pouches is some of these are actually big enough to just slide a water bottle in. Maybe you don't want to, run around with 3 liters of water on you. You got 16 ounces of readily accessible water if you're thirsty. It's a small amount, which might be just good enough for your Saturday or Sunday, walk-on game.
Also, mag count-wise, you'll notice a couple more mags than we had back on the indoor loadout. but you're going to be out there for a longer period of time, not as much stop and go, so make sure you have some additional mags with you.
Now we're going to talk to you guys about theme games. One of the most important things about theme games is you almost always have to pick a side, whether it be tan or green. And one thing to be mindful of is if you're shooting against it or if you're for it, you want to know what you're IDing out in the field. Pretty much your legs, your arms, and your head, we feel should be that side you pick. A good example, this helmet, it's a very green-based helmet. Don't wear this helmet with a tan-based shirt. You know, we've got pretty much this side's the green side. You've got your shirt, you've got your helmet. That side's good example for the tan side. In most games too, you don't have to worry about your chest rig or your plate carrier matching that. Most airsoft players aren't IDing you by your chest rig. They're IDing you by, you know, what hangs off of it, your arms, your legs, your hat. So this tan-based plate carrier would be all right with the green side, as long as, again, like I said, those things match.
One good thing to note, if you have a helmet and you're like, oh man, I don't want to go buy another one, they make covers, so you can put this cover on this helmet and you now have a green helmet without having to go out and buy another helmet.
Or like us, you just buy helmets of different colors and sizes. Another thing too, you also want, we mentioned water before, you want to make sure, since you're going to be on the field more rather than at your respawn, you want to have a lot more water, or at least keep your bladder full at all times whenever you go back to respawn and fill your bladder back up. Another thing too is you want to have enough mags or enough ammo to sustain you through longer firefights, or you may be walking longer distances and may not have time to actually reload as much. So you still want to keep enough to reload, maybe 4 or 5 mags, but you also want to have, however many mags you have on there.
Like you saw earlier on the previous chest rig, with 3 mags in front, it's a great easy way to reload. I also have 4 more mags here, and I typically carry 1 more mag in my dump pouch when going with these longer games, just because you don't want to run into a situation where you don't have a mag. Do I use all of them? No, but it's better to be prepared.
Yeah, better to have more than less, especially in these games, because we're throwing BBs down a lot. Maybe go through a bag or a bottle per game. Depends.
Also with this loadout, going with the longer games, you're going to want to have some kind of comm system. I have my radio back here with a push-to-talk up here on my shoulder. That way I can keep in contact with my team and my squad. That way we're always having that communication, knowing what's going on everywhere in the battlefield.
Yeah, as opposed to these indoor or these mount-style games where typically your team is a whisper away, or teammates are a whisper away. If you're outdoors, we could be 10, maybe 20 yards away, and you don't want to talk to give away your position. That's what these comms are for. He uses a shoulder mic. I actually use, a headset or an in-ear, so I can hear everything that people are saying to me, and if I have to get back to them, it's a quick tap and talk, rather than yelling. So now we're going to go over the 2-day events, whether they be with or without breaks. As you can see here, Saint, coming a little bit, Saint's showing you a very good example of a green-based kit. He's got a tan plate carrier, but that's alright. Again, we mentioned before, plate carriers don't matter. And, I mean, him walking around, you don't really notice the plate carrier as much as you know. The helmet's green, the PCU, and the pants as well are green. And that's what we're going for here. Since it's a bigger game, he's got we probably mentioned it before, but here it is on the gun, he's got a sling. Sometimes these bigger games, you may have missions where you have to do things other than just go around and shoot guys. You may have to throw it to the side, maybe even grab his sidearm. Hopefully get some ease. Gun's still there, it's attached to the sling. He actually has a pretty good amount of mags here as well, but he also, I don't know where you carry your spare BBs.
Yeah.
Oh, on the side. Yeah. So he's got his spare BBs, he's got his mags, he's got his hydro. Enough to sustain him, for the 2 games. I think the only break we may have is if we, die and we have to go back to our respawn.
Same deal on the tan side. We got Wit right here. As you can see with the DCU pattern, helmet, gear, same deal. He's got mags all up in front. Wit typically runs a lighter loadout, so he's got the 3 mags in, but he's got BBs and such to go for the long haul. Again, radios. Got to make sure you guys have those. Cannot stress that enough for these larger games.
Some other things too with these bigger games is you might want to invest in these bigger packs. I mean, it's not a 3-day bag, but this can probably hold enough stuff that'll keep you going. You're gonna hold. If you've got an air tank, it'll hold your air tank. It'll hold your hydro. This one actually has space for more mags, but you want to be able to hold your snacks and any kind of source of extra energy. Because at the end of those games, you know, when you're getting around hour, 12 of 24, your body's gonna want to start to rest when you want it to keep going for maybe more missions or a longer firefight.
On top of the food and ammo in this bag, you want to make sure you have a change of clothes, namely socks, because at these games you're going to have you're out in the field for a long time. Weather changes. It happens, especially with a 2-day game. It's hard to plan for. So you want to make sure that you have in here the additional socks, maybe a spare combat shirt, something that you can change into so that you can stay dry when the weather changes back to being nice.
What I always do is that maybe in the vehicles we come with, I always bring my jacket. I have a green and a tan version. Some guys may just have one or the other, but you never know what the weather's going to be. Airsoft, we're a New England-based team. Weather changes all the time. You look at the weather map on a Friday, it's going to be great for Saturday and Sunday. Next thing you know, it's raining all day Sunday. So you definitely want to bring the spare camo and a backup jacket. Alright guys, just remember, everything we've shown you today, whether you go from mild to wild, whatever you feel more comfortable wearing, that's what you want to wear. You don't have to wear exactly what these guys are. You can pretty much play in what me and Poltergeist are wearing. If that's what's more comfortable for you, then that's what you should play in. But do remember, you want to adhere to the rules of whatever game you're playing in, whatever field you're playing at. That's what's most important, safety and playing honest.
Make sure you guys keep an eye out for upcoming videos. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on Facebook, Instagram. Be sure to hunt us down.